I think that if nothing else, the fact that Trump is starting to compile an enemies list of content creators is a testament to his weakness, his overall weakness. This is not something that you do if you're acting from a position of strength. It's not something that you do if you think that you're effective. I think the goal here is to try and chill us into submission, is to show us like, uh-oh, now you're on this official list. Now maybe you'll think twice about the next time that you speak out. You don't need to do that if your presidency is going well.
Being named CBS News' editor-in-chief in October, Barry Weiss has turned the network into a soft MAGA mouthpiece, or a Fox News Lite, if you will. It's a shift so dramatic and so worrying that its evening news show lost more than 1 million viewers in its first week with her newly appointed anchor. From softball interviews with Donald Trump and top administration officials to pushing ICE propaganda online about Renee Good, Barry Weiss has unraveled any last bit of trust in that network. And if that isn't enough to make Walter Cronkite roll in his grave, just take a look at CBS's newest roster of contributors, which is a who's who of, at best, centrist pundits and at worst, right-wing hacks. Take Dr. Peter Attia. Though not a board-certified physician, Dr. Attia is a so-called longevity expert who hosts a podcast about lengthening your lifespan. Attia also just so happens to be mentioned over 1,000 times in the Epstein files, even telling the late sex offender, quote, "The biggest problem with becoming friends with you, the life you lead is so outrageous, and yet I can't tell a soul."
Progressive individuals have been complaining across all platforms about how they shut our videos down when we spit facts and then we cite the facts. But they'll let MAGA get up there and spew just the biggest Scott Jennings lies you can ever see, and they still get the videos up. And so I'm going to show you a couple of videos that not necessarily got taken down, but they got decentralized to be put up on YouTube. They got demonetized. Now, TikTok is notorious for this because TikTok, in part, is owned by, what's his name? Larry Ellison. And now, mind you guys, his son is now trying to take over Warner Brothers to add to Paramount, and it is just going to be a complete right-wing fascism, oligarchy mindfuck. It's just going to be completely full of that. But YouTube has always kind of been a stalwart, but now they're starting to mess up. So here's video number 1 that they demonetized. I don't understand why. We have a young man that was doing an experiment, and he had a monkey put on his back. Black guy. Now, one of the favorite statements in this society is, "I got to get that monkey off my back." Well, that's literally what this young man was trying to do. See who would help him get the monkey off his back. And YouTube decided to demonetize this video. So you guys let me know, does this rise to something you feel like an advertiser wouldn't pay money to see? When I have seen so much bull jive on real TV and on social media, you got to really prove it to me that they won't pay to be on this video. Take a look, folks.
Trigger warning.
Look at this. They're all just watching. And we're supposed to live in a world that's equal and there's no hate, right? They're just watching him. They're laughing at him. Everybody. We're outnumbered in a world that clearly hates us, but they act like they don't. And it's the majority. That's the problem. It's the majority. Right? Only one. You see that? Only one. Only one person. The rest of them, it was a joke to them. It was hilarious. He was a monkey. This is what they think of black people. And you cannot argue and say that they don't. This was proof.
Folks, why would you demonetize that? When we give you the real account of what's going on, because history has never been proven, has never been explained properly, and we've never tackled the issue, you saw what traditionally this young man, folks, in the black community and in most white circles, they would like a guy like this. He's light-skinned, good hair, put a monkey on his back, and they standing back there laughing. Now, thank God this was an experiment. This was an experiment to show people that always want to say, well, I don't believe in racism. It don't exist. Clearly, the shit exists. You had one lone girl who snatched it off his back and didn't even want to take credit for it. She took it, ran away, balled it up, and was going to throw it away, won't go and say nothing. Shouts out to that girl. But because she did what she did, they gave her a little, a little something to say thank you for being someone who's not a piece of shit. But why would you demonetize that? Why would you not show just how deep the divide is in this country that people would stand behind this man with a monkey on his back and laugh when the term "get that monkey off your back" did not come from black people, it came from white people. So why y'all didn't help get the monkey off his damn back? Y'all stood there and laughed. You want me to go back to showing y'all how white folks like to monkey around? This is how white people like to monkey around. And when I say white people, folks, I am not talking about all white people. I think I have to preface that every time, because black people would not have made the strides we've even made if it wasn't for those white people that sacrificed for us, helped us out, continue to fight with us for equality for everyone. Because if everyone is equal, we all have a legitimate playing field. But what we're seeing right now is not a legitimate playing field. And you clearly see why we need to address some of those historical issues we have. But back to the point, why are you demonetizing that? Somebody tell me, post your comments. Let me show you video number 2 that YouTube decided, hey, party over here, we don't want y'all putting up this kind of content. We're going to demonetize it. It makes you feel as though YouTube is under somebody's control. Let's see.
So the Trump administration has been using our tax dollars to abuse over 500 babies and toddlers inside these detention centers. MS Now's reporter Jacob Soboroff, along with the Marshall Project, have been working with the families and the children that they're keeping inside these centers. And these children have suffered brain development issues that may last for the rest of their lives. One family fled Russia with their 1-year-old little boy, and they kept them inside the Dilley detention center for 4 months. This little boy went 50 days without proper food. They had him in an environment where they never shut the lights off, even when it was time to go to sleep. Parents were stealing and hiding cereal and rice just so their child would not go hungry. Many of the children inside these centers have stopped eating altogether. They are hitting themselves. They are losing basic developmental skills. They're in a for-profit prison that makes money off of abusing children. And when these families complained about having enough proper food for their children, they told them they better shut up or they would separate them, that they would take their child away from them and send the mother states and states away. There is no humane way to keep a child inside a prison. And in the United States of America, we should not be doing that. I don't care what you think their parents have done. No child should be in a prison in the United States of America, and no company should be making money off of it.
Why would you demonetize that type of critical information? Why? Why are you trying to incentivize people not to let folks know what's going on in these ICE detention facilities? I thought, here's the thing society used to push on us. Children, old people, people's religion, those are things that are off. You don't touch them. They're off subject. You don't harm these people. If you're a gangster, you don't go after nobody's mama. You don't go after nobody's kids. You don't touch nobody's religion. This young lady is simply reporting what's going on in these detention facilities. And YouTube and other platforms said, we're not going to pay y'all to talk that shit. Folks, there's a problem here. There is clearly a problem here. And we need to rein this stuff in quick. I don't understand why advertisers would say we don't want that unless they're in on the fix. I can understand why someone who owns a detention facility don't want to see it. I can understand why someone who's a part of the whole entire complex making money don't want to see it. But I don't understand why YouTube in particular is like, we're not going to monetize that, because it makes me feel like you're in on the fix too, possibly. Last video, folks, that YouTube has been basically like, we're not going to demonetize this either. Take a look.
The UFC is a perfect example of how far we have fallen as a nation. On a weekend where my New York Knicks won our first championship in 53 years, where the Carolina Canes won their first cup in 20 years, where the World Cup is here and we are celebrating different nations coming in to our country to play the most beautiful sport on the pitch, the UFC stands alone as the testament of how far we have fallen as a nation. Michelle Obama has not been a first lady in over 10 years, and yet one of their fighters proclaimed gleefully to applause and woohoos that Michelle is a man. 10 years. The Obamas left office 10 fucking years ago, and these fucking racists still can't give it up. And you have the fucking Rogans of the world and the Trumps of the world and the Dana Whites of the world applauding and laughing and not correcting in the moment. Of course, after they came over and said something. But this weekend is emblematic of who we are as a nation, when the fucking president should be celebrating the joy of all these great sporting events happening, lifting our nation. He chooses instead to give room to fucking racists on the fucking front lawn of the people's house, desecrating everything that this country stands for. Why, racist white people are the bottom of the barrel. Always will be.
What? I'm like, what is there to demonetize about that other than whoever is your sugar daddy don't like that she called out Josh Hockett up for calling Michelle Obama a man? I mean, you have a cute girl who looks like she could be Bruno Mars' little sister. Repping the Knicks, shout out to the Knicks. Repping the Carolina Hurricanes, shout out to them. And then saying it was wrong for some man in a UFC on the White House lawn to be calling Michelle Obama a man. Basically telling us that he likes probably men that look like Michelle Obama, but that's what she was calling out. She has everything most YouTubers and most audience want to see. Cute little girl, looks good in that Knicks jersey. She could be multiracial, sounds very well versed. YouTube decide, oh no, we can't put a lot of money on that. Come on, man. Folks, at the end of the day, make sure you keep your notifications on. Make sure you follow your favorite progressive people pretty much everywhere they go. And you can help put pressure, because at the end of the day, I don't watch cable media because it's so lopsided Republican. It is so lopsided. People just get up there and just lie through their teeth. And then we as human beings who have education, critical thinking, have to go out and debate the bull jive, and usually have to on spot pull out our phone to prove to them that what they heard is a lie. And then those people want to turn around and turn to something else that they hope is the truth to try to say that you're wrong. That's what we're dealing with. And we don't need to be dealing with this from social media that pays us to create content. We're not fucking movie makers. We're supposed to be trying to create content that is usually true. I would say all time is true, especially when you're dealing with something like politics, but you're not incentivizing us to do that. So please, folks, support your favorite progressive voices. Make sure you've got their notifications on, sign up for their email newsletters, whatever they do, so that you don't lose their voice.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignation's out right now on all platforms.